Today in Real Estate 101 we're continuing the section on contracts, and we're going to first start with using profiles to make your job easier when writing offers, right? I know I asked this before, but how many people use profiles currently to write offers? Just one, two, all right. So when you write your first offer, if you haven't yet, you're going to love this, all right? So we're going to go through where to find them. Actually, we're going to just go straight to the benefits of using profiles, all right? So when you log into the MLS, right, instead of going to Matrix, you're going to go to Express Forms, right? When you click on Express Forms, it'll take you to the Express Forms page. And as we've talked about before, you might click on Forms Library if you're looking for a specific form. But if you're about to write an offer for the Joneses, let's say, and you want to autofill as much of it as possible, you can use the Create Profile, Create Profile, and it'll bring up a window like this. And the first thing it's going to ask for is the listing number for the house that you're writing your offer on. So even though you represent the Joneses, the system is going to say, well, tell me which house this is pertaining to, so I can pull all the data in for that house, address, commissions, whatever, okay? If you've done it before, and maybe the Joneses are writing a second offer, you can do a shortcut, right? If it's a new one, you just enter the listing number. Once you've entered the listing number, you click on Next. It'll pull into the listing the address, the selling office commission, parcel number. Everything that was in the listing is now in this profile. All you have to do now is go, okay, well, how much am I going to offer? My client said, well, this one's been on the market for 90 days. Let's offer a little bit lower than full list price. Okay? Then you fill in their name, address, information, email, phone number, everything that you're familiar with seeing on Form 21, right? And then you tell the system what kind of buyer they are. An individual, an entity, husband and wife, a married man, a single man, married woman, single woman, etc. Once you've selected that, this is just the lower half of that same screen. This information is already filled out for you, because when you put the listing number in, it pulled the listing agent's info. And because you're logged into the MLS as you, it also knows your information. So that you don't even have to type. So that's pretty cool. Across the top are the tabs that allow you to go through the construction, for lack of a better word, of your offer, right? So we're going to then go to the Purchase and Sale tab, and that brings up a sort of a truncated list of all of the addenda that you might use, right? Now, as you remember from the previous training, we're going to use Form 21, 22A, 22D, 22J, if it's older than 1978, 22K, and Form 35. Those are the most common boxes you're going to check. Now, there's lots of other boxes, right? If it's in Snohomish County, you have a different box. If it has a well, you have a different box. We're going to cover all that individual stuff, but the most common boxes you're going to check on this screen are Form 21, 22A, D, J, K, and Form 35. Okay? Once you've done that, we don't have any additional forms, no SEBA forms. We as a company don't even have any of our own unique forms. You'll see Coldwell Banker is a good example. If you write on a Coldwell Banker listing, you're going to get a Coldwell Banker addendum. And so they would have that in the MLS. So if we ever had a Miller Lane addendum, we could send it to the MLS, they would upload it, and make it available through the site. Okay? We also have uploaded our company logo. So if you have a purchase and sale, and you check this as yes, it'll put the Miller Lane logo at the top. And you should do that. It makes it look more professional, it makes your company look more legitimate, and it puts your client's mind at ease. Right? After you've done that, you click on Submit, brings you to this tab, you fill in today's date, or tomorrow's date, whatever date you plan to have them sign, Though, to be honest, it's not critical that this date be anything other than the day they're going to sign or older, right? I wouldn't want to put August 10th and then ask them to sign it on July 19th or 18th and submit it, right? But I could put July 17th. As long as they sign it, what matters is the expiration date of your offer, not the date of the contract, okay? So we plug that in, we hit submit. That brings up this window. This window is a summary of the forms, the check boxes that I selected, right? 22J is not on here because this particular house is newer than 1978. But Form 21, 22A, D, K, and 35. And these open words are all hyperlinks. So you click on those to open the PDF. When you open the PDF, guess what's already in there? Buyer and seller name, property address, purchase price, all the stuff that you entered into this will auto-populate every addenda that you've selected. Make sense? Takes you like, well, I think I've shared with you before, it takes me 9 minutes and 36 seconds to write an offer. That's pretty fast, right? Not saying you'll do that, but it definitely makes you more efficient because you don't have to type things over and over again. Okay? And that's it on using profiles. So any questions about using profiles? I went kind of quickly at it.
One question. You said Form 21, and in that list of forms, there's different kinds of 21s.
There's only one Form 21.
Well,
There's a Form 28, which you would use for condos.
no, well, I thought I saw like Form 21 something something, Form 21 something something else.
Form 21, Form 20 is for
No.
multifamily. Form 23 is for manufactured homes. Form 25 is for vacant land, and Form 28 is for condos.
Well, I was looking in that big long list,
Huh?
you know, that big long list, there's about 4 or 5 Form 21s. That's
Was
where I
it
got
in this
confused.
presentation? Or were you on the website?
I was on the website.
Okay. If you read each title, we'll have a little bit different finish, right? The MLS, to make it easy for people, will upload or make downloadable, is a better way to say it, page 1 of Form 21 by itself. Because that's the only one you edit, right? So if I'm going to write 5 offers for my client, if I just did 5 different page 1s, page 2 through 5, you're going to see today, doesn't have the address at the top or the owner and seller name, right? So my point to you, Addie, is it just says, okay, if you just want to download page 1, here it is. If you just want to download all 5 pages, here it is. Those are 2 different links. They're both going to say Form 21, but there's going to be some additional language. Okay? Any other questions about profiles?
So you're recommending we use the profiles and don't worry about a bunch of miscellaneous forms that don't apply?
You're going to always want to use the appropriate forms. All the profile does is help fill those forms out for you faster. Now, please keep in mind that what's filling out faster is buyer name, seller name, property address, tax parcel. But if you want to adjust a contingency on a Form 22SS, let's say a short sale addendum, you still have to go through and look at the form and make adjustments wherever there are fields. But that takes you moments, whereas typing the address over 6 different times, or at least copying and pasting it, can take longer. So it's really just meant to make you more efficient. It doesn't relieve you of your obligations as a professional and your duty under the law of agency to do a good job and be thorough. And really that's part of what this section of the training is all about, right? So many agents don't read the contracts, and yet they slide them across the table to buyers and sellers and say, sign here. Well, that's irresponsible, and we don't operate that way. So I love that you guys are in here because I know with supreme confidence that you guys are going to know contracts inside and out. And think of how many times you've heard Scott during Thursday training say, we had a leg up on this transaction because the agent didn't know contracts. He says it all the time, and he's a sharp guy, right? Well, you guys can all have that same level of understanding, and frankly should, to really do a good job for your client.